Start your day with local, national, business, sports, news, and more in Igbo with Nchikontakuko. The news, all day, every day, only on 107.3 Darling FM, the People's Radio.
World News on Darling FM 107.3.
This is Nigeria's first family health, lifestyle and edutainment radio station, 107.3 Darling FM. Hello and welcome to the World News. I am Chidera, Rosecamille and Aneke. Here are the headlines. Nigeria government set to replace BVN with NIN. Ondo State government rejects NCDC figures, says state not severely affected. Saudi's social media users protest against poor living conditions. Details shortly. Federal government says it has begun moves to secure the Russian COVID-19 vaccine and India's COVAX vaccines against COVID-19. The government also said it has taken steps to resolve the oxygen crisis that had hit Nigeria's national response to the COVID-19 pandemic. This was disclosed by the Minister of Health, Osagi Ehanire, in Abuja. Osagi said the vaccines, which has been agreed to be supplied to Nigeria, has an efficacy of 91%, but is still under evaluation with NAFDAC. Chairman of the PTF and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Boss Mustafa, who reacted to the issue of oxygen in the country, said the private sector, car COVID, is supporting the provision of oxygen nationwide, and allocations have been made to states. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy Issa Pantami says the federal government plans to replace bank verification numbers with the national identity numbers. The minister said this while briefing journalists after a facility tour and inspection of the ongoing NIN enrollment exercise at NIMC and other designated centers in Abuja. He said he had made a presentation to the National Economic Sustainability Committee and drew the attention of the Central Bank of Nigeria's governor on the need to replace BVN with NIN. According to him, the BVN is a regulator's policy, while NIN is a law stating that the strength of law cannot be equal to a policy made by one institution. He emphasized on the need for NIMC to focus on regulatory work and set the standards for biometrics registration, measuring of height, standard for data to be collected, and general verification. Citizens of Imo State has been urged by the state's Water Sewerage Corporation to desist from spoiling the pipe that connects water in the state. This was disclosed to journalists by the head of Water Services Department of the corporation, Henry Adiro, while reacting to the leakage along Westral Road. He pleaded with individuals who are in charge of road constructions and parking of solid waste to always ask for where pipes are connected before the commencement of any project.
Working on the road, those that affected our pipe network, we are working with them, we've given them the bill of damages which they have done on our pipe network that should be replaced. But this one is not on road construction. There was an excavator or the payloader that was clearing you will see the debris removed from the drainage system. So the payloader was clearing it and it hit the chamber. So it's not road construction. It's in Water Law 2019. If by any means any company damages the distribution network, he will bear the cost of the replacement of the repair. So soon the water law will be implemented fully, and that is what we are clamoring for. If we have a mobile court, so that all these things will be respected. People building on the pipeline, people encroaching on the pipe network, people working without calling on the utilities to see if their pipe network cross this here. Let's know where to walk. According
to him, the destruction may cause an enormous problem in the state.
If you are given a road contract to do, come to the utility, ask for their pipe network, their lines, they will direct you. And if it will be affected, we will direct you whether to realign the pipe or not to. And that is the problem we are suffering in the last regime. Most of our pipe network, during the urban renewal project, we are damaged, disconnected. And that is why we are finding it difficult to supply water to some areas. So we are trying, the government now is trying to see how all these things will be replaced, how Imo people will have access to potable water again. And that's a very serious issue. It's from the transmission line. And now it's only one pump that is working. If they put two pumps, Wedra Road will vacate. So it needs an urgent attention. Let them be careful once there's any pipe network along their area. And if they see any leakage, they should report.
Adiro also called on citizens to always support the 3R mantra of the Governor Hope-led administration so as to move the state forward. Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly, Paul Emeziem, says he is anticipating to welcome new members to the ruling All Progressives Congress APC as they begin their registration and revalidation of the 27 local government areas today in the state. The speaker disclosed this in an exclusive phone interview with Starling FM's Chukwemeka Pascal.
Has chosen this time for mobilization of membership in the party, and it is expected that people will actually want to be registered as members of APC, the ruling party, at the national government of Nigeria, and also the ruling party in the state, our own state.
The speaker is optimistic that more members will join the party because of the performance of the APC-led administration, which has put the interest of Imo people above parochial interest.
Compared and imagining the good things, the good work the federal government has been doing quietly for Nigeria, and what Mukuladema has been doing as governor for Imo people, consolidated projects of value and sustainability. I think people are convinced and ready for the exercise tomorrow, and it's lasting for 2 weeks at all the local governments and wards and registration centers.
The honorable lawmaker noted that this is the time to demonstrate true loyalty and commitment to the party and to increase the fortunes of the APC going forward. Still in Imo State, a federal high court sitting in Owerri has struck out a case to stop all forms of revenue generation or collection from the federal and state government to all the local governments in Nigeria operating under the caretaker committee system of government. This case was filed by a legal practitioner, Kingsley Ozioma Elegalam, who disclosed this to journalists, said that non-democratically elected persons should not be allowed in the council.
In fact, I filed a suit against the federal government of Nigeria, the Attorney General of the Federation, the National Assembly, and the 36 states of the Federation. And the suit is in respect of the practice of non-democratically elected government in our local government systems in Nigeria. The suit basically is asking the court to interpret Section 7.1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and presumably for the court to determine whether it is right, whether it is legal for state governors to operate caretaker committee systems, whether it is legal and right for state governors to operate interim management systems, whether it is right or legal for state government to operate any other system, no matter what it's called, aside from the one that is provided by Section 7.1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is a democratically elected local government council.
He frowned at the judgments delivered against his demands by the Chief Judge of the Owerri Federal High Court, Justice Tegani G. Rengem, who, according to him, disagreed with his suit on the ground of locus.
The court gave a judgment today and said on grounds of locus that the suit is struck out on grounds of locus. I don't know what the court meant by locus. Whether the court is saying that I'm not a Nigerian, whether the court is saying that I'm not an Indian of Imo State. I disclosed all necessary facts as to prove my locus for this court. I'm afraid. I think we didn't say Nigerian factor played a role, but what I'm saying is that we are paid against the judge. Make sure the right thing is done.
Barrister Elegalam therefore recalls that he commenced the litigation against the impunity at the third tier of government about 4 years ago. In Ondo State, the state government has faulted the figure for the COVID-19 situation in the state released by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. The rejection is contained in a statement issued by the Acting Commissioner for Health, Jibayo Adeyeye in Akure. He said though the government is concerned about the rate of infection in the state, nonetheless, the data indicates that the state is clearly not the most affected in the country. The commissioner said that government will continue to do everything possible to bring down the rate of infection to the barest minimum. He urged the people to ensure compliance with all laid down COVID-19 safety protocols. This is 107.3 Darling FM Owerri. If you are just joining us, you are listening to the world news. In the news, Nigeria government set to replace BVN with NIN. Ondo State government rejects NCDC figure, says state not severely affected. Still to come, Saudi's social media users protest against poor living conditions. Still ahead is business and entertainment. Stay tuned.
Missed any of the developing stories during the week? Do you want to get up to speed with the news? Tune in to the People's Radio 107.3 Darling FM at noon every Saturday for the Week in Review. The Week in Review, reminding you of the week's stories today.
Welcome back to the world news on 107.3 Darling FM. Now to the foreign scene. Saudi social media users have taken to social media platforms to protest their interruption of salary payments and the rise in prices in the kingdom. The Saudis used the hashtag salary is not enough, which appeared for the first time in 2013 to criticize the Saudi regime's economic and foreign policies, as well as extravagant spending, describing it as the devourer of the country's wealth. The users said huge sums of money had been spent to purchase private items such as the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's acquisition of a yacht for $500 million, a painting for $450 million, and a palace in France for nearly $300 million. These items, they argued, belong to the people of Saudi. They called on the government authorities to raise citizens' salaries in proportion with inflation, high prices and taxes, and provide jobs for the unemployed. In business, in regards to the warning issued earlier on to some foreign investors, the federal government says it will be invoking the labor law on two Chinese ceramics firms in Kogi State. The companies identified as BN Ceramic Company and West Africa Ceramic Company were accused of engaging in abuses, sexual harassment, industrial slavery, and maltreatment of Nigerians. Speaking after the two firms were dragged before the Public Complaint Commission (PCC) by a non-governmental organization, Pan-African United Youth Development Network. The chief commissioner of the agency, Chile Ibawua, said those found culpable in the allegation of the industrial slavery will be forced to face the industrial law. Recently, the Chief Commissioner, Public Complaints Commission, Chile Ibawua, issued a warning during a courtesy call by a delegation of Pan-African United Youth Development Network, who came to lay complaint against some foreign companies allegedly maltreating Nigerians working under them. Finally, in entertainment, Mary Wilson, a founding member of the iconic music group The Supremes, has passed on at the age of 76. The legendary singer, best known for co-founding the group at the age of just 15 alongside Diana Ross, Florence Ballard in Detroit, died suddenly at her home in Las Vegas with the cause of death yet to be announced. Her long-term publicist, Jay Schwartz, confirmed his death and disclosed that Wilson's funeral service will be held privately in accordance with current health and facility guidelines. He also said a public memorial will be scheduled later in the year. And that's the world news as produced by Uchoma Sophia Afolabi. You can reach our news desk for coverage and eyewitness report on 0818 732 5104 or send an email to darlingfmnews@gmail.com. And for more information and inquiries, do visit our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Darling FM 1073. You can also listen to Darling FM from anywhere in the world. Go to www.darlingfm.ng and click to listen. I am Chidera, Rosecamille, and Aneke. News update is at 5 p.m. Good afternoon.